Movement press. At the time that I got into it, everything was kind of happening at once because it was the music you heard in the club. And I would go to the teen clubs in my area, and you were hearing hip hop, R&B, dance music. And when I say dance music, man, it was like, it would be some freestyle stuff, some European stuff like the Kraftwerk, Art of Noise, the artist that Jelly Bean was putting out, Donna, like anything that was like, because most of the pop was kind of dancey. You know what I mean? Like, I can't wait. That stuff, the A-E-I-O-U, that group, bro, it was just, and then on top of that, on top of the R&B that was just danceable, you had a lot of the hip house tracks. So and most hip hop artists were putting out club, like, they would have a club joint on there. And then and then coming with that was just the culture was changing. The way that we was dressing. So even the hip hop cats, everything was just fly. And I think, it was just tied to my adolescence. I just started going out, just started to want to like go out and see other cool kids, meet girls and stuff like that. And it was just all converging at once. So then eventually hearing like pure house music. And when I say pure house music, like house tracks, like not hip house. And not to say that hip house ain't it, but just, when you finally get it, you're already prepared for it. You know what I mean? So it was always, I can't say always personal, but it was just tied to so many aspects that as soon as I went out into the club and teen clubs, it was the build-up, you know what I mean? Because it was like, you just dancing, and now we're doing like hip-hop stuff, and now we're doing the social stuff. And then once, it was like, that was my gateway, and once I reached house, it was like, for me, it was the epitome of all of it, because it was like the fashion, the way things looked, the music, the beads, the shells, the suits, the shoes. It was like a world, man. And then to see other cool kids, and I wouldn't even say cool, because not cool, but like just the kids that was on the same vibe as you. Like you could be shopping in Pathmark with your parents or your moms and your pops, and then you see another young lady or young dude with their moms and you see them with the shells on, you see them with their hair twisted or this, and you like, oh, they know what's up, or go to the part of town where everybody's getting the jeans or the shells or the incense or it became that the community of it, the global community, not global, but that your area, it was just tied into my adolescent experience, man. So, I think that's when it became personal. As soon as I started going out and, again, I was like heading directly towards it. Even the music, man, you came in listening to dance music and hip hop, the club tracks, and even when you listen to, I forgot what were the dudes that produced for Public Enemy. Their beats were really electronic, man. Like really almost like borderline techno type shit. Then they produced stuff for Cube. You know what I mean? It's like I personally feel like I was heading in that direction. Then with all the electro going on, that went house. And again, when I got into house, on top of the real disco-y type stuff, bro, when I heard like French Kiss, like all that, like the acid house stuff, House of God, like bro, all of that stuff was, and even like early techno, like, oh my goodness, forget about it. It was, but again, it was for me and for the kids that I ran around with and looked up to. It was so tied together because all the hip hop cats that I like in my area, like they it was like hip hop and club, Most of the best hip hop dancers could do club shit, During your time living in New York, what moments, people, or spaces influenced how you approach house today? Philly and Jersey kind of prepared me for it. You know what I mean? But I mean, still, when you get to New York, it's like boom. And I would say even before I moved to New York in 2004, but I was, going to Sound Factory Bar and Shelter on Hoover Street. I think those, before I moved to New York, I think I was prepped. Or those were the most influential moments for me, man. And, I met Terry, TC, Never. I used to kind of just watch. And Terry linked me with Step Fiends. And then, in the middle of the floor at some like really late, Ricochet, Ejo, and anybody that was like fucking with floor moves would be getting it in. So I just learned club etiquette, you know what I mean? Being in the club and not knowing what the fuck is going on when Is It All Over My Face comes on and everybody starts yelling. Hell yeah! You're like, what the hell? But it's like so much joy. And then if that track by Yellow comes on, everybody starts yelling. There were like traditions and anthems happening, man. It was, I think that really, again, it's like I'm still chasing that. And then going to Shelter, bro, that was a whole nother ball of wax. I think all of that really, shaped how I look at house. Moving to New York, I'm gonna, Funkbox, of course, became a home in a sense. And then Sin Sin, holy shit, man, Sin Sin was like it. Sometimes the spaces and the people at the spaces, it supersedes. I don't want to say family, because it's like, I don't know, it's like your friend group that becomes like this family. And here's the fucked up shit, man. You never cherish it because you get so used to it, the people, the space, that when it's gone, you're like, what? You kind of think it was gonna last forever. You know what I mean? So I would say those spaces and everybody. There are people, man, that I didn't even know their name, but they just affect you. They leave an imprint on you. Like, I didn't know Jeter, Flipman Jeter. I didn't know his name for years, but he was just the OG that would just come, back up, do the flips, and then, step out. Everybody played their part in the club, man, and then left an imprint on me. And that's why I know how important everybody is to the space, not just the dancers that choose to dance in the circles. Everybody plays their part, man, and everybody's important. And everybody in them spaces influenced. The promoters, everybody played their part in the room. Everyone in New York knows their music up and down. You are a clubhead in New York. I can't speak to hip hop, but I'm sure it's the same way with hip hop. But goddamn, people know they fucking music. You will know music if you clubbed in New York. I can't speak to like the 2000s, but I know party in New York in the 90s. If you ran around with club dudes, they knew the music, bro. Holy shit. Damn near music snobs. You know what I'm saying? Like, god damn. So I learned to really appreciate the music. On top of it, that's the one thing that I really learned. And what influenced my approach is like music, my musicality. Or I can't even see your ear. You just developed an ear, bro. Damn. Yeah, I think, I'm still chasing 90s. The 90s, for me was goddamn. And then you know what else? It was like, you could, now when you go to house clubs or house events, you just meet dancers. Like other dancers. I can remember when you would go to them parties, man, you would just meet you could meet somebody, you know what I mean, that wasn't really into dance. They was just like, yo, I just came here, I like the music. Those days, like, everybody would just come to the club. It wasn't just dancers. And not just like dance, like, oh, serious, do battles. Like, people just was out partying, chilling. How has the move to California shifted your relationship with dance, music, or community, if at all? Man, nothing has changed. I'm still fiending. They don't have, the like a couple of joints a week to do, but man, listen, I will get it in wherever I can if time provides. I don't. It's the same. I would say, I bring that each one teach one ethos, which is putting the dancers here on game to, like, how cats do it in the Northeast, and don't hold them, how can I put it, for things that dancers don't know out here. I don't like, oh, you don't know that, because I know. And I think I was, me and a lot of dancers who traveled a lot to teach, was very aware of, like, when you go to this city or go to this country, people don't know, and you got to give them patience and just give them the tools to play. And I think that's what was going on when I moved out here. And I don't like to be like, unless you ask me to be that dude. If you ask me to be the blah blah blah, then I'll be that dude. But yeah, if you don't ask, I ain't saying shit. But for those that came, I did a little class for a while on Mondays. I'm ending it. My last one, I think about 2 or 3 years. 3 years. I think 3 years. I did a class on Mondays. And it was mainly just me figuring out things that they didn't have technically, was showing them and sharing that with them, and just trying to get them to approach it from a social approach and not just the class approach. You have the class approach. How do you use your information from class and make it as tools? Take this stuff from class as tools to use socially. And a lot of the dudes and dudettes that were learning from me were really running with it and doing that. So I'm happy for them. And just sharing. Nothing has teetered off. If anything, I'm still, chasing. And they got some DJs out here, man, too, that be doing it too, man. I think for those of us that leave the Northeast, to that Philly, Jersey, New York, and I'm gonna go on a limb and even say like Connecticut and Boston and DC. I think, all of us that are coming from those areas that have a certain approach to clubbing, and once we leave and go out and about to different countries and cities, we all kind of have a responsibility. And it's an unsaid responsibility. I don't think it's like we all kind of want to spread it so we could do it wherever we're at. You know what I mean? So I think that's what's happening with me with my move to California. Is like I'm trying to share it so that people can be on the same time as me, so I can do it here. We try to spread the germ, man. Spread the germ so that you could do it. Because and for those of us that moved to other spots and that we were in New York together, and then you go to see them in their city and they doing the same thing, but then there's still that connection. You know what I mean? When I see, Tsunami up in the Bay and Loose up in the Bay, you click. You just like, it's that connection of New York. You know what I mean? Even when some, like Samo is out here, when I see Samo, I have moments with Sammy out here. And we're both Step Fiends, X Fiends. So there's just these moments that you share. Or when somebody comes, from New York that's visiting and, the right track, the right moment, Donald is out here from New York, and it's, for a while I was at his hip every time I went out, just to have somebody from New York that knew what's up, And Donald is an OG club head from New York that's out in California. I used to watch him in Shelter back when I was in my 20s. And he was with that clique of dudes that was mixing a lot of capoeira with just house and club movements. But yeah, that dude. So when I moved out here and saw him, I can't even, it was like a blessing because I was able to, I wasn't completely, like alone. I could just, whenever he went out, I would go out and I could have that moment with him and not have to worry about, like it, you just have that little essence, that little spark of New York, you know what I mean, that we hold. So I think that helped a lot. Having Donald out here was huge. And Basil pops up at events and parties. And again, it's just good to have that, like, I didn't see them a lot out here. Donald, I did. But yeah, every little bit helps, man. Every little bit helps. Every visit, every, like, Terry will be out here, E will be out here, Kyle will be out here, Sekou will be out here. You know what I mean? People pop up, Nene will be out here. Those little, like, even, again, talking about Sammy when we bumping each other, we blah, 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 talk, stalk. Yeah, naturally, no, like, forced nothing. We know what it is, you know what I mean? And and I think that it's important for everybody out here that really wants to know, to see the exchanges, because I think that was the one thing that won me over in the house is the conversation, man. When you think about a house right now, what do you feel needs more care or protection as it keeps evolving? I think it's dope because it was very niche for a while. Like, it was only like a couple of Europeans and Japan. You know what I'm saying? But now it's like so big. I wanted to showcase dancers that don't do ciphers and battles that are still dope. Because a lot of influential dancers, there are dancers who contributed massively to the culture that just weren't cipher dancers, who would just dance on the side or just dance with their peoples. That would, I think it's just, let's open up more of the culture, because I think because there are some dancers who it's the cipher, and the cipher that is about kind of, I don't want to say showing off, but that's about like dynamism, and that's not for everybody. And that shouldn't be the end all. There's more. My thing is just like, let's peel back the lotus flower, and there's layers to it, as opposed to battle, cipher where you're showing your cool shit. That, there's more to it. And that, because there's some really dope dancers, bro, that I just like, yo, you nasty. But to them, like, yeah, but I really don't do ciphers and stuff. Like, it's cool. But it's like, for those dancers, well, then what do I do? And then I think that becomes the dialogue of, okay, these are the social things that everybody was taking part in. We were stalking, everybody had their dance partner, or some people had a couple of dance partners, meaning like the person that you knew when you got to the party, who you was going to get busy with, who was going to get you started, who was going to warm you up. You know what I mean? And everybody has one, man. Everybody had that person, that they would just dance with, So I think that is something that I don't think anything should change. It's just let's add more onto it.